Bro, I just got done watching the first episode of Blue Lock and I am sold. This is arguably one of the freshest takes on the shonen sports genre I think anime has seen, period. I mean, it's not often you could say, this ain't clickbait, that it's essentially a soccer camp that's designed very similar to Squid Games, just instead of characters dying if they don't make it, they can no longer play for Japan, which for these up-and-coming athletes, I mean, being removed from being able to ever progress higher than maybe a local team is pretty kind of game-changing for them, because they literally wouldn't be able to do that as a career more than likely. And to see just the sheer insanity of the ego that is being presented here, because they take 300 of promising athletes, and I guess, you know what, it's a bit random in some ways, but all in all, it's about training them to not play as a team, but to train you as being the best. And holy shit, this first episode did not hold back. Like, the production I knew was going to be great. At the very least, it was going to be great for the first core. For those who don't know, this is going to be a 24-episode season. Of course, anytime something airs back-to-back seasons like that, you never know how production will hold up in the long term. But I mean, based on the previews, we knew at the very least the intro was gonna look top tier. And even though I had high expectations for the production, I can't lie, I was kind of blown away still because of the eyes and the way the faces made them seem like psychopaths. Like, seriously, there's shots in this episode that if you were to screen grab and show to a random person and say, what type of show do you think this is? I imagine most people would say a thriller, if not a horror. I mean, there's this man who just stands up and talks to this crowd of 300, and he sounds like a lunatic. It sounds like, even though they're just talking about soccer, they're football, right? Whatever you want to call it, depending on where you live, right? Here's the thing. A lot of what he's saying, you could maybe take a step back as an outsider and say, okay, you know, he's a little egotistical, but at the very least, he's not a psychopath, right? But if you change just a few words around with some of the shit that he said, that shit's a serial killer in the making, man. And I love how you get a taste of what this game will do to them, these events. I mean, the first challenge that they get, they're ranked 1 to 300 based on where they think skill-wise they're at. Our main character is ranked 299. And you have this Connie-looking mofo who I was like, oh, he's knocked out first, right? Because he's ranked 300, and our man basically is coming off of a game where, had he not passed to his teammate, they wouldn't have lost, because he could have made the shot, but he trusted in his team, and in doing so, they ended up losing, and they didn't progress higher up as they would have. And to see, like, the build-up of, basically, you have the man who he ended up losing to because he was on the opposite team. He's basically saying, bitch please, teamwork is this game. Like, it is a team game, it's not an all-for-one. And that's absolutely true. Like, I mean, the way these teams actually operate, I mean, you can't just rely on your own skills. But I love the fact that there is this mentality in sports depending on the position someone's in. And in the case of what they're trying to do, they're trying to build, like, the strongest striker. And I heard from a lot of people just from rumblings when this episode dropped is that the way they're presenting the ego of, like, a striker is something that's very believable. Now, I'm taking this at face value as I only played the sport when I was a kid because I had to, sort of a thing. But I like the fact that they're really propelling that ego narrative, and to see how it really breaks by the end of the episode, like, that completely blindsided me. I was literally gasping out loud and saying shit. I was cheering. I was like, where are we going here? Because you end up in this situation where you're building up, okay, this dude's on the floor, sprained his ankle, twisted, something like that. Like, hey, you know, it's a cheap shot. And I was like, okay, he's clearly going to do it, right? Because, I mean, that's the whole point of this, is that he's going to break his moral compass, and he's going to say, it's survival of the fittest, and there has to be a loser. But the fact that he stops not in the way of, like, I'm a good person. He stops because I gain nothing by taking the cheap shot. If I'm going to stay here, I need to take out a strong person. And the fact that then it just builds up into this quick 20-second that felt like an eternity moment. And then to see the man who caused his own downfall at the start of this episode because the opposite team, you know, he's cheering how, you know, we work as a team. He gets the shot because of this other psychopath passing him the ball in the way that they did. This shit is going to be wild. I haven't been this excited for a sports series in some time. Like, I mean, holy shit, this is like reverse Haikyuu, man. Haikyuu is about building the teamwork and the frustration. This is about tearing down the power of friendship. The entire point of this is to make it so people, the deeper they get into this competition, the less they rely on others, to the point that it is just the ultimate striking machine. And the fact that you literally have a sports show that is designed about tearing power of friendship down rather than rising it up, as you have a very Squid Games-esque fashion battle royale that's basically either going to be a make it or break it for their potential soccer football career, is pretty damn glorious. Like, the production is top tier, voice actors pure psychopaths already, and I can't wait for more. Like, I thought I could wait for this one till it's over and honestly just end up binging it, because sports series makes a great binge. But these types of shows, especially when you almost have a battle royale formula, they're so fun on a weekly dose, and it gives you a sense of adrenaline that's really hard to compare to. One of the things I always look for in a show like this is that I'm not interested in the sport in real life. I don't like playing it, don't like watching it. So I'm always interested to see how anime can take something that I'm not interested in and spice it up. And I think shows like Haikyuu, with the way they detail and stylize that animation with those personal stories, it's easy to root for, and that's kind of what good sports anime do. But something like this, where you have these like mini games, these little mini obstacles that can change a person's rank to skyrocket or fall, and obviously the lower you are, the more risks you probably are for being eliminated. And I think that's what's going to be really great, because you have obviously the gorgeous presentation, superb animation, great distinct art style, memorable characters even if they kind of scare me shitless. So you have all these good things that make a good sports series, but then you have the elimination rounds, and just knowing that they're presenting it like a battle royale, it definitely makes it feel like, and I don't think this is an exaggeration, based on what I've seen and know of, even if I don't go out of my way to watch that many sports series, I'm aware of the big ones. And I kind of feel like this is one of the most refreshing, if not the most refreshing takes I've seen on a sports series to date. And obviously, it's only first episode, things can change. But if you needed to sell me on something, this first episode did it in one of the strongest ways I think I've experienced to date. Now, I'm already doing 3 shows on Saturday, and YouTube doesn't like more than 3 videos in one day, and the 4th video won't get recommended as much, but I think I am going to do this one on a Saturday, but if for some reason you don't see it, it will just mean it will be pushed to the Sunday like I'm doing it today. So just gonna throw that out there in case people are like, oh shit, did he drop it if you don't see it on a Saturday? Sometimes I get busy, maybe I don't like how it's performing on the Saturday because I'm already uploading other things. Don't worry, it will air on the weekend. I think it will just fluctuate maybe between Saturday or Sunday, but we'll see how it goes going forward. But I'm excited. This is honestly maybe my favorite first episode of the season, and I'm actually gonna rank it that high. That's how much I really enjoyed it, and hopefully my excitement got across that, even though I'm still sick as shit for like the past week here. But thoughts and feelings and ideas on where you want to see this insane ride go from here, do let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.